run, two, come, let's go. I said 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 run, two, come, let's go.
Right. You should be able to make the next one. It's on the 19th and 20th. I'll be out there. You take that back there with me. Take that. What's up, y'all? Gentlemen, how many pies is this? Two. As usual.
Went home.
Oh, yeah, he went home yesterday, right? Yeah. He went home to some mess. Cause man,
Heard somebody got blamed last night.
and look, this. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how it go down. You know him too. It was about, I say 9 o'clock yesterday. We just in the office doing our regular. You hear boom, boom, boom. Like what the heck? We know what it is, but we gonna see which way it comes. So I peeked out the front door. All up here, man. All you just see is people scattering. You know what I'm saying? And police come. I'm talking about. You see police come. You see narcs coming. You see sheriffs, bike boys, homicide, all kind of people running up. I mean, it was like at least 40 officers. Y'all know, like the Africans, like right across the street, like right. Like here go Bills, yeah. Like here go Bills. It's like the next little.
Yeah. A-Rap dude.
Yeah. So it was a few different stories, but I got the real. What happened was it was some young boys. When I say young, 19, 20. And the guy I was talking to, dude 26, talking about young boys. I'm like, you the young boy. You know what I'm saying? But he was on something else. So he said that what happened was, and I'm quite sure some of y'all probably already got to school. You know how it goes.
We ain't got no TV on. We don't even exist. Tell us. TVs on.
Okay. What happened was, this dude was posted on the block where he be at every day, and there was some other dudes on the block where they be at every day. I guess, I don't know if they had beef or what, but dude just walked up to him, put the gun to his chest, and told him check it in, and dude said, I ain't checking nothing in. So he pulled the trigger, right? But the gun jammed while it's in his chest. Dude pull out, put it in his head, pull the trigger, his gun jammed.
What?
Yeah. So, you know, if the gun jam, you gotta pop the clip, you gotta get that bullet up out of there, that pop, and go back again. So while they doing that, they running like trying to duck behind cars and stuff, and while they get their stuff together, next thing you know, boom, boom, like they shooting across the street from each other. Then they start chasing each other, like dudes start chasing him, busting at him, somebody get hit. Now, I don't know who it was that got hit, but by the time you heard them shots, that's when the police start coming, right? So the dudes, I guess, the dudes that try to rob him, they scattered. There was a bunch of them. They dipped. And the dude who they was trying to rob, he ducked off, right? And I guess he put his heat up or whatever. But the police come out looking for everybody. They tape it off, thinking somebody dead or whatever. The fire department came, police coming. I ain't see no ambulance. So I'm like, wait a minute, somebody probably dead if ain't no ambulance come. But what wound up happening, somebody just got grazed and they just got took to the hospital. So I say it took about a half an hour to 45 minutes for all the police to disperse, right? As soon as the police disperse, we go back in the office. You hear boom, boom, boom. You hear it again. Right. So, of course, I go out and peek out the door first, and I look up the street. I mean, you know, I ain't stupid. Peep out the door first, look up the street, and young boy walking up and down the street with his heat on him, waiting on the dudes that robbed him. Like he in front of the store like this with his hat tilted, he like this, whatever. So he was out there pacing the block, posting up in their spot, sitting, just waiting for like 3 hours, man. 3 3 hours. Them dudes ain't never come back. So I heard about some gunplay last night, but I don't know what happened. But then as soon as I'm pulling up this morning from work, it's all them police again. News jumping out. They got news. The news came yesterday too, but the news. You got First 48. They had their little sign on. They got They had them there. They got they got the First 48. The First 48 being them narc cars.
But that's only for people get bought.
But they probably making connections. They probably tying connections into what. They had the little First 48 shirts on. They had the little small video cameras that you had. The regular, he looked like just a regular white dude though. Pull out a big huge camera. Like y'all would be surprised we rolling around over the Rand.
If you going crazy, bro. That's about to be wintertime.
Yeah. So and see the thing is, plus school just started, so you know it's gonna get hotter. But they had. But he probably just had some weed. Shouldn't have said his name, but they let him go. They gave him a ticket or whatever. What'd you say? Oh, he got it. Oh, he got a little ticket, but they had clinked up. They probably clinked up about 7 people. Like had them against the wall. They had the camera in their face, like in all angles. So it's real out there now, man. So that's why I say he went home to some mess. And then I can't say too much, but his people, you know what I'm saying, they got jammed up. So he went home to some mess. Yeah, it is ugly. And the streets messed up right now. Like that one way messed up. So that's why I say when y'all get out, man, job, do something, but I'm just trying to
stay out the way.
Try to stay out the way. I'm just keeping it real. I ain't gonna say if you're gonna do it or not, but if you got a little money, just kind of like piecemeal it out. You know what I'm saying? As far as spending it, and see if you could find a job, temp job or something to do what you got to do till it get greater for those that's getting back in. Hopefully you ain't. Of course I'm gonna say that, but right now ain't the time. There's too many starving bellies. Too many.
Ain't no spot for you. You been gone.
Right.
No spot for you right now, boss.
Right. And they coming down on like females for letting dudes live with them now. Like they ain't playing, man. They doing surprise inspections.
Yeah, they hit over that.
Yeah, they doing surprise inspections, coming in, checking to see how many pairs of shoes dude got there, see if he getting mail, all that. Like it's getting hard. You got to stand on your own too, and kind of like leave the streets alone. So I'm just saying, we're gonna wait a couple more minutes, and now we're gonna get started. So they took y'all TV, or y'all ain't never had one?
No, they took it, man. They said we've been turning heads, man. Like, holding man, they think us telling on each other is a part of the truth. Yeah, that's the way. Man, we ain't grew up like that, so it's like, man.
Right, conform or else.
Some of the philosophy of the program is to introduce dealers with users, take them out of telling each other, so when we get out and mess with the users, they'll be stuck in the same situation.
Right back in.
Repeated cycle.
Right, cyclical cycle. What
That's what I'm teaching about no jobs and all that. Everybody that get their itinerary.
Y'all don't even have to pull people up.
Fill out a restaurant. They go to restaurants and fill out applications like that. They say, I just can't make it on this place. They go work at McDonald's.
Right.
Do something better than that.
Right.
It's a whole different mentality. You know what I'm saying? A whole different mentality.
Wait a minute, child. What you say? Hey, he got a question. For those that's been here, I know some of y'all been here. Ask that again.
What happened to my brother's keeper?
Y'all remember that? That my brother's keeper thing? Who was here that long? Ain't none of y'all been here? You the last one in that little?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
When you here when they was was talking about my brother's keeper? You wasn't?
I've been here for 60 days, man.
Oh, okay.
They expect, but they expect. How long ago was it?
Y'all, it's been at least about 2 months.
Yeah, about 2 months. Who been here past 2 months? I know you have. Do you remember that my brother's keeper they was doing the little group they had? Come on, man. They ain't nothing came of it. No call, no nothing. That's what I be saying. Like it was a group of guys. I ain't downgrading them, but they was in here. They was doing my brother's keeper, being held accountable for each other. Talking about when we get out, we gonna make sure each other do whatever. Who was that last week? Who wanted that Master P list?
He ain't here.
He ain't here? Okay. Alright. Well, today what we're going to talk a little bit about is association. What is association? Well, first of all, we got any new people in here? No new people? Alright, so I've got to explain what job fuss is. We're going to talk a little bit about association. Before I get started, let me ask y'all this. What subjects would y'all want me to come in here and talk about?
I want to talk more about jobs.
Okay.
Realistically speaking.
Okay, so job, realistic. Okay, what else? Housing?
Yeah, housing. Yeah, that's good looking, bro.
What else?
Is there any way to figure out something about these licenses still?
License?
That play a part in getting the job.
What opportunities out there for fellas?
Yeah.
Grants. You just throw that in there too.
Great. Okay. What else?
How can I get a record deal now?
I can tell you how to do that. That's easy. It's a lot of hard work, but I can tell you how to do it. It's easy. You just need somebody to show you the way, because you already got the ability. You just need to know the way. When you get out, come on, man.
Credit. We talk about credit a little bit.
Credit? Oh yeah.
Establish it.
All right, y'all. Okay, credit. What else? It's still a decision.
That's back to what I was saying about they don't want us to work for real, man. It's a continual cycle. Like they don't do nothing as far as employment, but they want us to tell on each other and they feel like that's treatment. Like I don't use dog and I don't smoke crack, like, and I don't have a drinking problem. Like I got a problem with this money. Like I get money. Like if I can't get money, then I got a problem.
Right.
Like you feel me? Like I need y'all to help me.
How you doing? Okay.
Actually, you know what I got busy now. I got a couple guys from Seaport. Is it too late for me?
Nah, they come.
They come there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Apologies, sir. Yeah, I forgot where I was at. That's you.
You said you got an addiction for money.
Yeah, like I ain't necessarily addicted to money. Like I work, I bust my ass for my employer, like whatever. Like they ain't not trying to get us no job though. I'm not trying to work at Frisch's. I could have went to the penitentiary and got out and did that. Like
Right.
I'm trying to get a job somewhere. Like you feel me? I need to see the light. Like they not trying to show me to the light. They just trying to keep me
Saying like job gonna lead to a career.
Yeah, you feel me? Like at least something that's gonna hold me down so I can get on with this little construction I'm trying to get on with. Like I need something that don't come through.
All right. Well, today let's talk about credit. Y'all want to talk about credit? Let's talk about credit a little bit. They don't let y'all bring pens and papers here, do y'all? Do they?
Yeah, that's why you always got one, ain't you?
So this is what I might start doing then. There'd be so many people in here. Do they let y'all bring paper back from here? What I might start doing is just bringing like some paper and pencils so y'all can take notes. And I take the pencils back, but y'all take the papers back to the pile. That kind of makes sense. That way y'all can write some notes down, because y'all won't remember everything we're talking about.
Or you just make a list of everything we talked about and make copies for us when you get back to the home base.
I could do that too. I could do that, but I'd rather you take notes, because when you mentally writing it down, you probably write other stuff that's being said too. Let's talk a little bit about credit. And I want to tell y'all something too. Any of y'all ever been to college? Basically, this is the same setting as college, ain't it? It's a room with somebody up front teaching you something and you learning. I mean, that's how college is. Some people put the stigma in your mind that college is this super hard place where it's tough. It's just like this. It's actually more laid back than this, for real. Because you could get up and leave. Say it again. Right, I understand that. But I'm just saying the setting. So anybody that got like a fear about going to college, it's just like this. It's the same thing. Now the teachers might not be able to relate to things, but they could also just give you the information you need to pass the class. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about credit. What is credit? Basically, it's fronting you some money. It is. Basically, credit is fronting you some money, and for you to pay it back in a certain amount of time with a certain amount of interest. Who knows what interest is? Who don't know what interest is? Okay. What interest is, if I loan you $100 and say you got to pay me back 10% interest of that $100, you pay me back $110. You owe me $110. If you don't pay me the $110 in 30 days, I'm gonna give you a penalty of $30, and you still owe me what you owe me. You see what I'm saying? When we talk about credit and credit cards and stuff, what happens is, let's say they give you a $100 credit card. I'm gonna keep it simple. And you go spend $100 on a credit, whatever you buy. You only got to make a minimum payment of probably about $10, $15 a month, so that $100 is paid off. But the interest is so high, 24%, 28%, 27%, that even if you make that minimum payment, it's going to take you about a year to pay off $100. A year. So in that year, you done paid them they $100 plus all the interest that they made off of you. So if you take $10 times 12 months, because that's how many months in a year, that's $120 just in interest to pay off $100.
They don't want you to pay it flat out.
Nah, they don't. But if you, the trick is, if you do pay it flat out every month, you get some credit, pay it off, get some credit, pay it off, they up your limit. You think they up your limit because they trust you more, but really they up your limit so you could spend more. So you won't be able to pay it and start paying them their interest. But I will say this. For those in here that does not have any credit, like you young guys, even some of y'all older dudes, if y'all don't got no credit, you could go establish some credit. Which means you could go apply for a credit card. They're going to say, well, you ain't got no job. On a credit card, they do not require you to prove that you have a job. They don't require that. If you put you make $38,000 a year, they think you make $38,000 a year. What they do check is your social. When they check your social, they pull up a credit report, not a police report. They pull up a credit report. What a credit report is to see if you ever had any credit in the past and whether it was good or bad. What makes you have bad credit is if you owe this company $100 and you only got to pay that minimum payment of $15 and you don't pay them nothing, and 30 days pass. That's called a 30-day late. And then you wait another 30 days, they put a 60-day late. You wait another 30 days, it's a 90-day late. You get it? 30, 60, 90. And then they go up to 120. That's what happens when your girl or your mom go get this credit and don't pay the bill. That's how she get bad credit, because it's every 30 days it's saying she didn't pay. Every 60 days it's saying she didn't pay. Every 90. And these add up. And then they wind up, if she ain't going to pay the bill, say she ain't going to pay, we're going to send it to collections. That's the people that call the house. Look, you owe us this money. And the way collections work is they can have a collection department in their organization and say, okay, we need you to get this money for us. And if they can't get it, what's up, y'all? If they can't get it in their own department, they just sell the debt. This is what I mean by selling the debt. You owed us $100, right? Y'all got it? Yeah. We talking about credit, y'all. You owed us $100. Well, you ain't paid in a year. With your penalties, the $30 a month penalty, and your added up interest, now you owe us $600. That's what happens in a year, after a year that you ain't paid a bill. So if we can't collect none from you, we say, I tell you what, this $600 that they owe us, plus fees for filing and stuff, we gonna sell this debt to another collection agency. Collection agencies say, okay, we about this debt. We only gonna pay you $100 for it though. And this company over here saying, well, that's how much they owed us anyway. You see what I'm saying? $600, it's worth $600. Just pay me $100. Okay, they pay us $100. We got our $100 back. Now, this organization, that's the sharks that call you every hour or every half hour. I'm serious. They're constantly on your back. They do research. Where you lived at in the past, where your mama stayed at. They send the letters to your mama house, your house. Any house you got listed on your credit report, they sending it to them. So what happens is these people wind up saying, look, you owe this place $600. I tell you what. And they usually call it about income tax time real hard. I tell you what, instead of paying them $600, just give us $300. We can call it a day. And most people do that or make arrangements with them to pay back $300 or the whole $600. So what happens is they made more than they paid. This company got their $100 back and the interest that you had been paying. You see what I'm saying? So in the end, who lose? You. In the end, with credit, if you don't pay it back on time or at least make your minimum payments, you lose. Now, if you do got some debt, that same $100, right? Wipe the slate clean, the same $100. And you just want to establish good credit, you could just pay the minimum payment or pay $25, $35 here till it's paid off and get more debt. That's another $100. Pay it off, get another $100. That builds your credit up, which means they'll loan you more money for you to manage the right way. And your credit score goes up. Now, what a credit score is if you don't have no credit right now, you ain't got a credit score. You could go to Rent-A-Center or different places like Aaron's and stuff like that, and they help establish you credit. If you get some credit and you start paying on time, your credit score goes from 0, it could go all the way up to 800. Every month that you pay the bill on time, it's probably going to go up about 100 points till you probably reach about 600. And then it go up or down about 20 or 30 points based on how you pay your bill, whether you pay it on time or if you don't. If you got a 620 credit score or better, them the people that could walk on the lot and say, let me get that, no money down, 3% interest. That's them people. If your credit score is 720, basically no money down, 0% interest for 12 months. They got A1 credit. 720 or better is A1 credit, which means they pay all their bills on time. Bad credit, a bad credit score is about 500 and below. Really 550 and below. Go ahead.
I heard like have no credit, just bad credit.
It is because they can't trust you. They don't know what you can do. That's why I say you could go to these small places and establish credit. Like you could actually go to a place like Value City Furniture or something, you ain't got no credit, and apply for one of their little cards, and they might only give you a limit of $100 or $50. Just buy something with that card and pay it off. Because you're going to spend that $50 anyway, that $100 anyway. And every time you make a payment, it boosts your credit score up. thing that you can do, you can put some money in a bank account. You can put some money in a bank account and ask them to give you a secure credit card, which means you put $500 in the bank. You say, give me a credit card for $500 and use this money as my collateral. And you use that credit card to establish your credit. Because they ain't got no risk. Your money already in their bank. They already got possession of it. What it's doing is it's helping you build your credit. As you get older, if you want to buy a house, you're going to need some credit, some good credit. At least some decent credit. Nowadays, you can get a car, no credit or bad credit. But guess what they doing? They making 24% interest off of you. If you spend what's 24% interest of $5,000? What's 10% of 5,000? 500. So 20% is what? Yeah, so like 1,700, something like that. When you add 24% interest, but that's on the monthly. As they stretch it out, let's basically say you pay $8,000 for a car, you're gonna wind up probably paying $4,000 or $5,000 in interest in 5 years. So you done bought 2 of them cars, and by the time you pay that interest off, the car ain't even worth that much. So when we talk about credit and establishing credit, that's some of the ways that you can do it. But in a nutshell, that's what credit is.
With these credit union things, can't you start a bank account in them credit unions and it builds your credit up? Or do they do a credit check on you? Or can't you start at a credit union?
With a credit union, you got to be part of a certain group to get in a credit union. Like police officers can get in the police officer credit union. Postal workers credit union. You work for the city credit union. You work in Sharonville credit union. You got to be like over the Rhine. If you work over the Rhine, you get over the Rhine, or living over the Rhine, you can get an over the Rhine credit union. A lot of people don't know that. You get in that credit union. And basically, as long as you're in that credit union, they'll give you a loan with low interest. Low interest. So it's best to, if you can't, get in a credit union. Go ahead.
Secure. Like we got a secure credit card, but you got a few dollars in the bank. Like, do they take your money like ASAP? Like, say like you use your credit card, they give you a time limit before they take your money that you ain't paid back, or do they automatically use the credit card just go and say like you use $100 on your credit card, or they just go and take the $100?
The $500 is a security deposit. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is if you don't pay after about a year or two, and they say, well, he ain't gonna pay, they take that money from you. Like, you can't go get that money out, and they can't get it just because they want it. They have to go through the lawyer documents and take it to court, and then they wipe that money and say, this is ours now. But they can't just take it. But if you paid that whole loan back, if you pay the credit card off and say, okay, release my money, then they can do it. You get your money back. What else about credit? Anybody else got any questions about credit? That was one of the things I had on this list.
I'm in debt. I'm trying to consolidate them all into one.
Okay.
How do I do that so I can start building back up?
Okay, is it school loans or is it like credit cards?
Credit cards. I had credit cards when I was 18. The worst thing they could have did in the world.
Same here.
Like, I had a Shell card and a MasterCard. Like, all I need gas. I'm swiping the card. Like,
thinking it was free money.
Like $800 credit card bills. I'm taking money from the MasterCard, paying on the gas card, and next thing you know, that's all I was paying.
Right. Now, is the credit cards like super late?
Yeah, I done stopped paying on them. Like, that was like 12 years ago.
Oh, well, you ain't got to worry about that then.
They gone. I'm talking about this new stuff, like doctor bills adding on there, like all type of stuff on their credit now.
With credit, okay, they only allowed to keep that stuff on your credit report 7 years.
Right, but then they sell it to the people who got there so long, like it'll be like 5-6 years, and then
right.
Sell it to somebody
and it'll start over.
5-6 years, then sell it to somebody else.
But you don't have to pay that. You don't have to pay that because they actually wrote that debt off. But I'm actually writing that debt off. The collection agency. I'm gonna give you an example. Back in the day, I had a credit card. It was like $5,500. And I would buy stuff, pay it off, And You know, it got bad. You know what I'm saying? And what happened was, I don't even remember what I spent the money on, but I wound up maxing that out. I had one for $2,500, maxed that out, and you know what I'm saying? I just ain't paying. That's young. I was in college. I was like, I ain't paying that. It's over. So what happened was they was calling, harassing, so I keep changing numbers, sending letters, whatever. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Let me give y'all this secret right here. The first secret of avoiding credit card letters coming to your house is get a P.O. box. A P.O. box is a box at the post office that only costs $40 a year. All your mail could come to your P.O. box. I shouldn't tell y'all that, but all the letters could come to the P.O. box. If you get some pills you don't want nobody to see, you can get them sent to your P.O. box. They only $40 a year, any post office. So you can get a P.O. box. Yeah, all the person got to do is go down there, have an ID, fill the paper out, and pay the $40. It's really $20 every 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I got a question on that because I got a P.O. box, but it's already been 6 months and I ain't paid the fee since
It's over. You just got to go get another one.
Where our mail gonna go though?
They probably discarded it.
Discarded.
If you don't come get it, by the time they say come get it, they gonna get rid of it. They gonna dump it.
My second question was, I heard something about like when you get one credit card and use another one, some dude was explaining it to me like how you build credit that way, like 2 credit cards.
Yeah, the more credit cards you got that you pay on time, the higher your score gonna be. The higher it get. But you don't want super mass credit cards putting you in all that debt. Because see, the better your credit, the more people gonna send you credit cards.